All right, let's be honest. When Gabe Davis left Buffalo, most fans didn't blink, right? Drops, inconsistencies, big expectations. It didn't always translate on the stat sheet. But what if I told you bringing him back might actually make sense? Let's talk about it. Most of you know I've been a supporter of Gabe Davis since his rookie season with the Bills. And while I understand the criticism and why people were okay to move on from him, I think he was more valuable than he was given credit for. Now that Jacksonville has released him with the failed physical designation, this could be an opportunity not just for Gabe, but for the Buffalo Bills offense as well. Gabe Davis suffered a torn meniscus in his left knee in November. It limited him to 10 games in his one and only season with the Jaguars. He caught 20 passes, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not exactly headline numbers. The team released him with the failed physical, and they're designating him post June 1 release. That's going to give Jacksonville a $5.7 million dead cap hit with some small savings later on. So now Davis hits the free agent market, right? And once he's healthy, which could be soon, he'll get a look from the teams that knows that he's potentially capable, right? And for me, I think it's the Bills most of all. He's got great experience over there. He understands the locker room. Now let's rewind a bit, right? Because Gabe Davis spent 4 seasons with the Bills. He racked up 163 catches, 2,730 yards, and 27 touchdowns. That includes one of the most, iconic playoff performances in recent memory, which for me would be the 4 touchdowns against the Chiefs in the 2021 divisional round. But in Buffalo, he was often overshadowed, and understandably, by Stephon Diggs, right, who dominated targets and attention. And Davis was asked to play a very specific role: stretch the field, create separation deep, pull coverage. That role doesn't always show up in box scores, and it's crucial for spacing and play design. So that's kind of what he was for. So was he inconsistent? Absolutely. But there's also a case to be made that he wasn't fully maximized in his strengths. Now fast forward to the present, the Bills currently have at their roster, right? They've got Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Joshua Palmer, Elijah Moore, Curtis Samuel, Laviska Shenault, and KJ Hamler. Several others are also competing for depth. So, we'll basically have to see as far as, who's going to step up and who's going to do what. But it is a talented group, younger in some spots, more versatile in some others. But there's still a lot of question marks as far as the main thing, which is chemistry, right? How quickly can they build chemistry with Josh Allen? And who becomes a reliable downfield threat? And who steps up in big moments, especially in the playoff time? So, for me, I think, Gabe Davis already has that experience. He's played in high-pressure games. He's caught touchdown passes when it mattered most. And so I think he understands Buffalo's offensive system. He understands the locker room culture. And I think that's going to be a huge benefit because he can also help some of these younger guys that, may be new to Buffalo and may not understand how Buffalo operates. So I think the real question comes down to, should the Bills consider bringing Gabe Davis back? And from a purely analytical perspective, right, it depends on health and cost. If he checks out physically and he's willing to come back on a short-term, team-friendly deal, then, yeah, it could be a very smart move maybe on both sides. You're not asking him to be WR1. You're not even asking him to come back full-time. I think you're adding him for depth, playoff experience, and familiarity with Josh Allen, because that isn't, not nothing. I think that's a good thing for this team, and it could uplift more morale. Especially late in the season, we know that injuries become a problem because Buffalo just seems to have those issues. But if Davis is healthy, motivated, and understands his role, reunion could quietly benefit both sides. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think. Should Gabe return to Buffalo? Drop it in the comments. Make sure you hit that like and, of course, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.